Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Leviathan. At least I'm calling it an episode, I don't really know what it is. But it's another painting guide on the Leviathan set. Like I said, we're going to go back and forth between Space Marines, Tyranids, and so on and so forth. So for this one, after lots of requests and tallying in the comments what people wanted to see more, we decided to go for the Van Dyer Lictors. In this video, so that's what I'm going to show you how to do here today. They're missing from the scene as we currently speak, but in case you're curious, so far we've done a Terminator, the new Phobos Lieutenant, Screamer Killer, and like I said, we're working on the Van Dyer today. So as you know or may not know, I'm currently working through the Leviathan set, trying to get you guys as many videos as possible in the next kind of week and a half. And then from the 26th, we will start Leviathan Week, which is what we did over here to get Indomitus finished. So that is my goal. So whatever I don't get done in videos, and as you can see, when I do things for videos, it's only one member of the squad. So I'll have 4 Terminators to paint, I'll have 3 Van Dyers Lictors to paint, and so on and so forth. So I've probably got another 3-4 videos left in me that I can get done in time before that week. So if you are curious and there's any specific models on this table here that you want to see me paint up, please do put in the comments below. I'm fairly sure that the next Tyranid will be this one, as it was the second most voted for Tyranid in the set after the Van Dyer's Lictors, so that will probably be next. But as for the Space Marines, it's kind of all up in the air as to what you guys want to see, so please do let me know which miniature you're curious to see, and I will make that into a fleshed hair as quickly as possible. Before I get into the video, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of my active patrons. Without you guys, I would not be able to continue doing what I'm doing, and there has been quite a surge in number of patrons in the last couple of weeks, so a huge thank you to all of you new members as well. The uptake seems to have been when I started giving you guys unique videos. For those of you who do not know, my Patreons get an extra video off me every single week, some behind the scenes stuff or some funny stuff or just a whole extra video. It's kind of all up in the air week to week, so it's a little bit of extra fun. So huge thank you to you guys, and if you are curious and want to join the Patreon, there are links below, and there's also access to a private Discord server with that as well. So okay, without further ado, let's get in and paint a Van Dyer's Lictor. I know I've said this a bunch of times before, but my Tyranid collection currently stands at about 6,500 points fully painted, before I see the new points for 10th edition, but in 9th edition. And there is no Tyranid miniature that stands up to me more than Lictors. I just think that those organisms are the coolest things. And the fact that they've given us a unit of Van Dyer Lictors in this particular set, and now they've shown off the unbelievable new Death Leaper sculpt. You can only imagine that there is more variants of Lictors coming in the future. So I, for one, I'm all here for it. I do hope that in the future I get to construct an army that has large quantities of these infiltration organisms in the force, and I can play some really cool thematic games. Imagine a game with Catachans at an outpost and a jungle board, and then all of these horrible Lictor creatures come out of the jungle and fight them. That's so cool to me. I really want to do that as a particular mission. But I got to get some Catachans off the ground as it stands, so trying to find some nice sculpts for them is proving to be difficult. Like the last Tyranid painting video, I'm going to be following pretty much exactly the same steps. You know, a layer of contrast, layer of shade, quick dry brush, and then we work on carapace. You can see the paints I've been using the whole way through. I am trying this new thing where instead of just talking you through what I'm painting as I'm painting it, especially something that I've done the scheme already, I've already talked you through how to paint it. So if you're watching this and this is your first video in my Tyranid and you're wondering for a little bit more in-depth kind of walkthrough of it, I suggest you go back and check out the Parasite of Mortrex or the Screamer Killer. Both of those videos are a full talk through of how I paint the miniature, paints used and all that, even though the paints are shown in this video and they will be in the description below. The Leviathan box set is jam-packed full of beautiful Tyranids though, so I am quite struggling to figure out which one is my absolute favorite. My favorite Tyranid sculpt of all time will always be the Metal Broodlord, who has his hands kind of cast out wide and in challenge. That miniature is beyond gorgeous to me. He's still fully painted and he leads most of the games that I play with my Tyranids. Even to this day, even though there's 3 beautiful new plastic versions of him out, I still take the old metal one out and use him because I just think he's stunning. A lot of people asked me in my other Tyranid guides where I showed the different paint schemes, showing off 6 of them in total, what color I used for the hooves and stuff. This is it. Rattling Grime was the color that I pulled out and used for those. It's just like a blacky brown color, and it works a treat for, you know, kind of claws or hooves or anything like that. In fact, even in this scheme, I give the miniatures here a coat of Rattling Grime across the claws and hooves and stuff, and I don't actually touch it again. I probably should add a little bit of an extra step to it, but I can't figure out what to do. I don't want to go grey, I don't want to go brown, I don't want to go black, so it's kind of stuck. Maybe just a coat of hard coat to make it glossy, give it that kind of sharp sheen to it. The Altac blue step is also quite nice, the feathering up the carapace, choosing that singular direction and following it up. It's actually quite an enjoyable step as well with painting Tyranids. Just adds just a little bit more pop of color, but then the color was kind of so solid, there's so much blue. And then from the advice of Mr. Golden Shin, who helped me out years ago with this original scheme, told me to water down Doombull Brown and paint it into all the gaps between all of the chitin, between all those panels. He demonstrated to me once, and I've used this technique on every other Tyranid I've ever painted, and it really does work a treat, because you can see there is too much kind of cleanness to the armor as it is now. It doesn't look kind of organic, but once you add that Doombull Brown in, and it's like leaking out of the different panels, and it just looks so cool. And especially with all these new sculpts not having a really flat carapace, they have all the little nicks and stuff taking out of it, just to give you more of that element of it being a biological thing as opposed to an artificial thing. Means you can feed the Doombull Brown into that as well, and it works a treat. I tried something a little bit more with the Volupus Pink in this particular tutorial. Normally I just do all of the slits that are in the kind of arms and legs of Tyranid monsters, but for this I wanted to make the his big kind of claws up top a little bit more special, so I did some along there, and then I just started doing every kind of joint, if you know what I mean. So where your knee would be and where your ankle would be, it's like separate to the normal Tyranid plates, so I just filled that in with Volupus Pink, and I really like how the result turned out. The step you just missed was I used some Pro Acryl Pure White to paint his eyes. And then unfortunately I didn't hold it to the camera correctly and it wasn't in focus, so it didn't really work. And then I just threw some Iron Jaws yellow over that white when it was done. Threw some other texture material onto the base. And then here is my first finished Van Dyer Lictor. Depending how I feel, I'm very tempted to spend this evening, my own personal time, painting up the other 2 versions of this. I know I'm supposed to save them for a Leviathan week, but this is a really enjoyable thing, and I really want to see what the 3 of them all painted up together look like, and I'm a bit impatient. Here's an extra fun photo at the end just for a bit of fun and giggles. Poor Johan is having a terrible time. Well, there we have it. 1 more miniature painted. Maybe a couple more left to go. Alright guys, so that brings an end to the Van Dyer's Lictor painting video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a like. Ask me any questions you have in the comments below and I will go back to each and every one of you guys. And if you are not subscribed to me, it would mean the world to me if you took 2 seconds out of your day and hit that subscribe button. 2/3 of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed, so I find that offensive. So sort yourself out and get a subscription there. Alright guys, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I'll see you in the next one.